times. I mean, do you ever pull out your old photo album or that stash of old love letters and start flipping through them and thinking about all your past loves? Well, today we're going to do more than just think about it. We're actually going to reunite some folks with their first true loves, including two people who have waited for 33 years for this very day. Can you believe it? And I am finally going to introduce you to somebody that many of you have written me about, you have called me about it, you have sat in my studio and asked me in live and in person about it. Al B. Sure is going to be here today, and he's going to finally answer that question. Are the two of us really involved? So get a handkerchief. This could be a three-tissue show. And sit by that telephone because you never know. By the end of this show, you may be picking up the phone and dialing that number to get that old love of yours back. Second chances for first loves. We're talking romance on today's Rolonda. You know, you're beautiful. You are. Listen, you got all dutied up today for a good reason. This lady's story, folks, this is my first guest. You met your first love more than 30 years ago when she was only 18 years old. It was at a dance. That slow drag did it, huh?
No, the kiss.
It was the kiss that did it. Whoa, that came after the slow drag. So tell me.
Well, I'm nervous right now.
I know, I bet you are.
First of all, I want to thank you so much for letting me come here.
You're so welcome.
This means a lot to me.
You know, we believe in romance and good old stories like this.
Well, it happened once in a lifetime, and for me, I had to find this man.
You're from Lexington, Michigan.
Lexington, Michigan, yes.
And let's go back, way back to that dance. What happened?
Well, I met him there at a dance, and I walked across the stage, and there he was playing on his drums, and all I could see was his smile. And that kind of made me give a double take.
A double leg?
Or whatever. I'm nervous. But anyways, I seen him, and lo and behold, he's coming up towards me, you know, and I'm hoping that he'd ask me to dance, and sure enough, he did. And I went right into his arms, you know, and it felt so good.
Tell us what it felt like.
Oh, anyways, so let me tell you.
Come on, tell me.
But anyway.
How did he hold you?
Well, he held me like if I was made out of glass. And he didn't want to break me.
Aww.
And then when he gave me that kiss, it was such a loving, gentle kiss. It was so. I still remember.
You do? I understand he even asked you first if he could kiss you.
Yes, he did.
A gentleman.
He asked me if it was okay to kiss me, and I said yes.
So why aren't the two of you hooked up?
Well, that's the sad part of it. He went into the Air Force, and there for a while, I didn't get to see him for a while. And in the meantime, he called on the phone one day, and he says, Yolanda, he says, how have you been? And this and this. I said, Arturo, I says, how you been? And he goes, I've been all right. My mouth is so dry.
That's all right.
Anyways, he says, listen, he says, the reason why I called is, he says, I want to ask for your hand in marriage. And that's when I told him, I says, listen, I can't. I'm getting married today.
That day?
And he says, the only thing I want from you is one thing. And I said, what? He says, your picture. I want to keep your pictures. I said, is that okay if I keep yours? And he says, yes. So what I wanted to tell this man is I still cared for him.
Even all those years you were married? How long were you married?
23.
23 years.
2 days prior to 23.
And you never stopped thinking about Arturo?
I never.
Let's get her some water. She's upset. This is quite something. Are you getting choked up?
No.
You just dry mouth? Hold on, it happens when you get nervous. Because let me tell you, the guy is back there. And I've talked to him. That's all right.
Guys, this is terrible. I didn't plan on this.
I know. Most people don't plan on 33 years later meeting the man they dance with.
Anyway, now I can talk.
Now you can talk. But you know something? It amazes me that for all these years, I mean, you're talking about 3 decades, you never forgot him.
Never.
You were married to another man. I understand that he got married. He has 3 grown children. And I don't think he's ever stopped thinking about you either. You continued to carry pictures of each other.
Well, the thing is that I etched him in my heart all these years, and I wanted to find him for one reason. I wanted to tell this man that the reason why I did get married was because I already was expecting my first son. And the thing is that I wanted to tell him that I still cared for him, and actually to tell him that I wanted to be with him, you know. And this other thing happened, and it happened, and there was no control in that. So
now, Yolanda, you know, be careful what you wish for. Are you prepared for the consequences of this?
the thing is, I don't care what he looks like, okay? I just want to tell him why, because it was a story that it didn't have an ending on the phone. I wanted to finish it off and tell him.
So this is one of those life things you just like to complete. Are you expecting something to happen? Are you expecting him to slow drag with you again, maybe?
Whatever happens, it may happen. Fine. I'll take it day as it comes.
Well, Yolanda found Arturo just a month ago, and they're about to meet now for the first time in 33 years. 33 years. That's a lifetime. Can you imagine how much his help? I know you want me to shut up and get the man out here, don't you? Okay. Let's meet Arturo.
No, you're making me feel old.
Okay, let me take the cup, girl, because he might ask you to dance one time. Come on, Arturo. Come on out and meet Yolanda. Oh, wow, yeah! Oh, look at that.
Wow.
Arturo, show us how you held her all those years, 33 years ago when you danced and it was love at first sight.
I had to hold her hand like this and real gently. I didn't want to
Oh, wow.
I didn't want to seem too anxious.
Yes. And you know, it was really nice. You asked her for a kiss. I mean, these are things that I don't think happen anymore. But maybe they do among gentlemen. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Come on, sit down, Arturo, and tell me about what happened from your point of view. Were you surprised listening backstage to how much care there was?
We were playing in a band, me and my brothers, that night. We were out in Napoleon, Ohio, and I have some cousins in Detroit, Mount Clemens. And somehow they got together with this people, and they asked us to play that night. And that's when I met her. She walked in, and she looked just elegant in what she was wearing. I never met anybody like her before. And my eyes just riveted on her, and I kind of smiled at her because I wanted her to notice me, because I wanted to meet her.
Well, she noticed you, never forgot you either. Let me tell you, you know she was married and never forgot you. I understand you were married. Did you ever forget her?
Yeah.
No, I didn't. As a matter of fact, I still have her picture here.
Oh, my goodness. Did you
That's
know
the one
that?
she sent me.
Oh, my. Let's
So-
take a quick break and come back, because I want to know what happens now after the big reunion. You're also going to see how we surprised this young woman with her schoolgirl crush. It happened just before the show. So we're going to show you what happened there. And Al B. Sure has got a song that may make you want a second chance with your first love right after this.